You know, it's par for the course for this show, Facebook.
Yes, it is.
You should have seen what happened before we got here, Facebook. But we are live. And by the way, speaking of panicking, I had a panicked moment yesterday. Tell me if this ever happened to you. I ordered a veggie wrap at this place. When I bit into the tortilla, a section the exact size of my upper palate sealed itself to the roof of my mouth. Okay? Yeah. My tongue could not get it down. My finger could not get it down. It was glued with drying saliva between my upper teeth and my hard palate.
Gross.
And it would have been there forever. But I had luck on my side, as the only thing that is rougher and jagged enough to cut through any material to tear open the roof of your mouth was right there, a bowl of Captain Crunch.
I was going to say.
Let's start the show. Of course you were.
Here we go.
Since 2020, we've done plenty of virtual comedy shows online. And though the virus is slowing, we'll keep going because we've still got lots of hydroxychloroquine and ivermectin.
Welcome to Virtual Comedy Show. It's a Zoom meeting with jokes. So please turn on your camera, turn on your mic, unless you have barking dogs or a rabid moose in your living room, in which case, please mute yourself for Pete's sake, and let's have some fun.
It's the Virtual Comedy Show, starring Steve Goodie and Brad Tassell. Tonight, Steve and Brad welcome comedian Bill Dorgo, plus funny songs from Carla Albrecht and a patty melt from Patti Vasquez, and much, much more. And now, please welcome Brad Tassell.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Everybody looked better in those pictures but me. Steve, my goofiest picture. That Patty looked great in that picture, and I was thinner, though, I think, in that picture. Well, welcome to the Virtual Comedy Show, World War III edition. We have our stars here ready to join up for the noble cause of bombing a country because you're mad no one coming to your birthday party. Yeah. Steve Goodie. Yay, everybody. So let's hear it for Steve Goodie. And right, ready to get those bone spurs removed for the case of the dumbocracy. And you know, she's amazed that first time, Patty, you, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Candace Owens agree on something. And that's Patti Vasquez, everybody. Yes, did you see that both of them were against the bombing?
Wow. And
we also have an amazing show with the comedian who is so funny, we consider him our Midnight Hammer, Bill Gorgo, everybody. Bill Gorgo.
What?
Are you not our Midnight Hammer, Bill Gorgo? Yes, and she showed up for this show, even though being forced to have dinner with me just a few days ago. Carla Albrecht. I guess the trauma of being in a restaurant with me has been mitigated because my wife was there, right, Carla?
that does help.
Actually, I think it was more Joe and Janet who have trauma because luckily they had each other to talk to about wise and intelligent things since they both have like careers that are wise, and we just bitched about comedy. So that was fantastic. All we did was grouse. It's our first war show, I guess. So, and yes, of course, the Orange Blubber has found a way to use the name he's always wanted to have if he was a porn star, Midnight Hammer. Of course, as we remember, my porn star name is Milk Frother, so that's not as good.
Wow.
Well, we know that. And Tulsi Gabbard said Iran was days away from a nuclear bomb, and the bombs destroyed Iran's nuclear bomb program that Tulsi Gabbard announced Iran had no nuclear bombs at all 8 weeks ago. So did they have them? And in a related story, George W. Bush has sued the Trump administration for copyright. There you go. That was pretty good. Okay, that's enough for me on all that. Let's go to something else. Okay, by the way, Trump did float regime change as a great scenario to end the Iranian conflict he started. And America agrees that a regime change would stop this war in a second. And we're thrilled the Tangerine Dementia Don has offered to move out of the White House. That's the change we're looking for. Okay. All right. Well, let's do jokes. Here we go, because we're a minute late.
Oh, no.
By the way, I went and saw Colbert. Colbert last week. Steve Colbert, what a great show. Paul Simon was on, amazing. And Edie Brickell showed up, and they sang a song, and it was really, really good. Isn't that great? So, all right, enough of that. The Thunder defeated the Indiana Pacers in the 7th game of the NBA Finals to finally push Caitlin Clark out of the sports news. For 7 seconds. 7 seconds. And 4 of those seconds were sportscasters asking Caitlin's opinion on the final game. So that's welcome back, WNBA. We've totally forgot about the NBA. So, and in a very current topical news, CNN is reporting that B. Arthur and Betty White hated each other on the Golden Girls. Boy, is this right on the top of everyone's minds right now. That B. Arthur and Betty White hated each other. Reporting that B used to call Betty the C word every time she mentioned her. And that all the girls, the 7th season, were signed on for another season, and B. Arthur refused to work with that C ever again. Isn't that amazing? It was a sad end to the iconic show, and even Blanche said, really, it was nothing a good scissoring couldn't fix. Okay.
Wow.
I feel bad about myself for writing that joke. I feel bad. Okay. Hey, the new COVID variant is marked by what is being called razor blade throat. Have you heard of that? Isn't that crazy? A sore throat so bad, it feels like you're swallowing razor blades. And in a bizarre coincidence, razor blade throat is also RFK Jr.'s stripper name. So that's.
How would you know that?
I've seen his show. It's fantastic. The nut down under. The bear on the top of your car or down under. All right. Hey, this is so cool. If you've been following me on Facebook, why wouldn't you? On Saturday night, the wife and I renewed our wedding vows at Lincoln Center in New York City. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
It was an amazing ceremony and a celebration. We had our tarot cards read, and the jackpot card jumped out of the deck as the singer was shuffling. The jackpot card. It was also not only the jackpot, but the golden goose card. So the medium who was doing the reading said that was very fortunate, as that card signified that we owed her $200. Amazing. We were also very happy. It was so, I mean, it's weird when you're crying. We're tied together. They're singing. We loved so much renewing our vows at Lincoln Center, but we do have to miss next month. Next month, we're going to miss the Kennedy Center event, White Hood and Swastika Night.
Dang.
I don't understand why you've made it to it every year for the past 20 years.
I know. We've been there every year before. They weren't held. It's not late enough. All right. Hey, there's talk after Trump's Iran attack. There might be a military draft enacted. Yep. All right. If so, the MAGA loyal have been Googling, how do I get me them bone spurs?
You don't want them.
And you know what? I think I have a bone spur. Is it a heel? Can your heel have a bone spur?
Yes.
I think I've got one because my heel has a big thing sticking out and it hurts. I'm not going to work. All right. All right. Boy, we're all tired today. I can feel it. Bill has fallen asleep 3 times. I keep looking.
What?
Is this a show? What are we doing? The top 10 restaurants in the world were announced, with Miato in Lima, Peru coming in first. Top restaurant in the world. And for the 10th year running, in last place, JR's Puss Bucket in Lick Skillet, Alabama.
Get in there.
JR's Puss Bucket. By the
I
way,
bought the company.
Lick Skillet, Alabama is a real place. All right.
I believe it.
Etiquette expert. We always want to hear from etiquette experts. Etiquette expert Jamila Musayeva has come out with the list of 10 things classy women never do in public. Classy women never do these in public. Among them, gossiping, causing a scene, interrupting others, and dressing inappropriately. That's 4 of them. I would have gotten the other 6, but her husband told her to shut up. And she did it because she obviously doesn't care much, because women can do whatever the hell they want, Jamelia. How's that? Okay. All right. Well, lost
Sounds
it.
like you're in trouble.
It was less awkward with the scissoring.
I was trying to be pro. I think the moose is embarrassed. An asteroid is on a collision course with the moon and could hit it in 2032. Is that amazing? Experts say if the strike is successful, the asteroid named YR4 will continue to train and take on the Earth in 2044. By the way, on Colbert, if he messes up the joke, they stop. He does it all again, and they force us to laugh even harder. They say, "Look," he goes, "I blew it. Let's redo it." You'll all notice I don't get any of those things. Laughs or redos. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. On Thursday, it was raining and lightning, and it was Friday in New York, and we heard just like on the street that somebody got struck by lightning in New York. And here's the story. A 15-year-old boy was struck by lightning in Central Park while on a picnic. He survived. He survived and said it was very scary. He got burns on his neck and legs, but in a stroke of luck, the electric arc traveled across his body and into a mugger's knife and killed him on the spot. So that was cool.
Wow.
Nice.
Yeah. By the way, no, I can't lie to you. No crime in New York. You don't. People say the subway's dangerous. We saw nothing. Nothing. It was.
Really?
I know it's not like Chicago where they just murder you when you get off the plane, right? All right, here it is, the joke of the week.
Oh boy.
Yeah, aren't you excited? We're that far already. Everybody's like,
Wow.
yeah. Joke of the week, and I just realized I don't think this one really makes any sense.
Tell it anyway.
I will. Well, last week I kept rewriting it. It never worked. I never understood how you make a cheeseburger laugh. You make it cheesy. I don't understand how that makes it laugh. And okay, anyway. A family 60 miles south of Prague has been arrested for running a fake dental clinic without a license or training. 3 years, 60 miles south of Prague, been running a fake dental clinic. They have made almost $200,000 performing fraudulent checkups.
Oh. No.
Wow.
Ouch.
Yeah, I heartily endorse that joke.
Carla's got a new dad
Oh,
joke.
that's the worst joke of the week.
That was very nice.
And
Brad Tassell, everybody.
that wasn't good at all. I struggled with the joke of the week this week. I had no motivation to write.
You
it
would have
down.
never known.
Yes. You should
But
have known.
if you don't like the joke, don't just tear it up. Get out those scissors. Anyway.
Yes. Oh, we're gonna be scissoring the whole night, aren't we?
It's
Hey, wait,
time for this. It's
Wait, I've
time
got
for
to
this.
redo it because your dad.
I'm doing this. I'm sure you will all join me in wishing Brad and Janet happy anniversary and welcome back home. And I'm glad you had a good time up there in the Big Apple.
Not our anniversary, but okay.
Oh, wasn't it? Okay, well, the renewing
We
of the...
renewed our vows.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
I wasn't reading very carefully,
Yes. November 20th is our anniversary.
as we all know. But I was following your adventures online, as I think many of us were, and I did notice a couple things. You didn't do absolutely everything that you can do in New York. Now, maybe it's because it's so expensive and you had to prioritize. But I did notice some things you didn't do. So tonight's top 10 category: top 10 things Brad and Janet forgot to do in New York City. Here we go. Number 10: sneak Colbert back to Kentucky before ice gets him. Number 9: and then book him on this show. He can redo his jokes all he wants. Number 8: see the hot new Iranian Broadway musical, Tanks But No Tanks. Number 7: also available in Washington, D.C. in parade form.
Squeaky
I
tanks,
think
so no
top 10 things Brad and Janet forgot to do when they were in New York City. Number 6: helped the Statue of Liberty pack for her trip back to France. Number 5, pee in the subway.
Oh, we did that.
And get arrested.
That's Janet only, because Brad did not forget to do that.
Yes, I did not.
Number 4, go ice skating at 30 Rockefeller Plaza. Yes, I know it's 95 degrees, but strapping on some blades and running them repeatedly over the icy faces of fascism is always in season. Number 3, lose at chess against a snotty 4-year-old nerd in cargo pants in Washington Square Park. Number 2, then go win at chess against an orange 4-year-old egomaniac in a blonde wig in Washington, D.C. And the number 1 thing that Brad and Janet forgot to do while they were in New York City, and then book him on this show, the feeble, feckless, fascist, fraudulent, felonious, libelous, lying lunatic, live from Leavenworth. It's alliteration night.
It's alliteration night. That was good. We did.
That's impressive.
We did do one of those things.
Oh, what'd you do?
We'll let you know. I don't know. We didn't go to Washington Square Park though, but we did a lot of stuff. I'll tell you that we did a lot of stuff. And
I know you did.
what we did? We didn't pay for dinner. Guess who paid for dinner?
Was it Carla and Joe?
Carla and Joe paid for dinner.
That's very
They were
nice.
sneaky as hell too. I'm telling you, him in that card. He's like a magician, just slipping in. I was like, and I pretended I wanted to pay. I was like, oh gosh, maybe no. Oh, maybe I could. Oh, whoops. Okay, where's my card? So
I'm sure you pretended really good.
Speaking of paying for dinner, where's Patty?
There she is. Hey, Patty.
Out on a beautiful night with her boyfriend.
Enjoying the crime.
Aw, you got your light in one hand, your phone in the other. That's fantastic.
Woo! Yeah, a lot of juggling here. And I got my notes. Hold on, I had notes a minute ago. I think I lost my notes.
Notes and a phone and a.
That implies preparedness. I won't have it.
I'm ready to go here.
All right, here we go.
Okay, go.
Let's do this thing.
Is Patty crazy?
Am I crazy?
Patty's not sure, Patty's not from lunatics winning their local races to major league wackos with orange faces to obnoxious a-holes taking handicap spaces. If she's losing her mind, that's fair. She's Patti Vasquez.
Am I crazy?
Just because you're peeing in the subway? No.
Woo! Okay, by the way, I know it's been commented on again before on how red I look. I just want to point out that today, I have, in order to broadcast with you guys, I have to get away from my house to leave our Wi-Fi, because if I'm on the stairs, it won't work. So I have to run away from the house to just get my general Wi-Fi. You didn't need to know that. I apologize. No one cares.
Okay.
Also, I am out here. I'll be shot again, I believe, in the next 25 seconds, according to the rumors about the violence in Chicago. Okay, let me just make sure I have everything straight here. I think that you have permanently damaged Steve Goodie's brain by saying scissoring, and I didn't know that. I mean, you broke him. I heard him snap. I heard it. I heard his brain go, oh, like that.
Hey, we had a good run.
Yeah, and I didn't know that was part of the rumors. Although the "See You Next Tuesday" story is becoming one of my favorites.
Yeah.
At any rate, I also want to make sure that while I don't understand how scissoring broke Steve's brain, and yet my finger didn't make it go down and my tongue didn't make it go down, wasn't having the same effect on anybody else but me. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, but it's good to know that Captain Crunch will get it done in a pinch.
That's right. Captain Crunch,
I wish I'd
baby.
known that in college. It would have saved me a lot of time.
Yes.
So you guys, I write an essay. I don't think I've mentioned this before, but I write an essay every Monday for Monaco Brewing Company. And I haven't mentioned it before, but so many things collided this week that I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and mention it. I wrote an essay today called Bombs, Beatings, and Security Deposits. Another day in Trump's America. So let's just go ahead and start with, here's what I think about, there's so much has happened since Saturday. It's a little bit crazy, but I do you the feeling, remember, because it was just Friday that he was demanding repetitively that he be given the Nobel Peace Prize. So I kind of feel like basically what he's doing, because after he bombed or didn't, whatever it was he did, apparently it was a bunker buster, but it just gave him a nick and they were able to move everything. There's a communication, and maybe it was all planned ahead, and the Qatar was also negotiating. Who knows? All these things, maybe because they know his ego, they're just going to let Trump start wars all over the world so he can end them, and then he'll demand the Nobel Peace Prize. That's all I can. I don't know what else the reason is. It's maddening, and I have two boys who are of the age of being cannon fodder. Now, I mean, that's not what we call them. We don't that's not their nicknames now. Hey, cannon fodder, how are you doing? But like part of me, like with Declan, who will never be drafted because he has severe disabilities, which it feels like a mercy. But I kind of want to go down to the recruitment office just to see how it goes. But look, the men and women in the military don't deserve that kind of treatment. And here's the thing. So much has really happened since Friday, since we all saw each other last week. So I don't know if you guys, the reason I put beatings in the title, because why wouldn't you? There seem like there's a lot of beatings, and there seems like there's a lot of people who deserve to be beaten. And that's not what I said. I'm not saying they should be beaten, and I'm not encouraging that kind of behavior. But when I see a landscaper, so there's a guy in California, maybe it was Texas, I don't know. It's where, what parts of the country that used to be Mexico. So I don't know if you know this, but we're everywhere. Anyway, this guy was landscaping in front of an IHOP, and people claiming to be ICE agents, just wearing like masks and battle gear, which, by the way, if there are sleeper cells, why don't they could just dress up with masks and SWAT jackets and pretend like they're ICE. And I'm just saying, and also the sleeper cell thing seems a little racist, like to just make us afraid and then also round up more brown people. I'm just saying, I'm just spitballing here, because I don't have any Captain Crunch. But at any rate, so this landscaper was chased by these guys identifying as ICE agents, and then when they got him, they beat him. They had their knee on his back and continued to beat him, pepper sprayed him. He is the father of 3 Marines.
Yeah.
So essentially, we bombed Iran on Saturday, beat the living crap out of a father of 3 Marines, and then we're going to send his sons probably off to, be cannon fodder, which maybe I will call my sons cannon fodder. Hey, is it cannon fodder 1 and 2, or is one cannon, is the other one fodder? I don't know. At any rate, but the reason I am prattling on is because my brain has essentially melted over the last 4 days. It is now 86 degrees in Chicago, which is the coolest it's been since last Thursday. And it just happened to coincide with the weekend my son told us, hey, I need to be out of my apartment in Hyde Park by Tuesday.
Oh my God.
Are you got, and here's the thing, his semester, his quarter ended like a couple weeks ago. And I'm like, he's like, I go into his apartment and he's still like trying to peel the blue poster tack off the back of his posters. And like, oh my God, you guys, I'm scrubbing his stove because I will get the security deposit. That's all I'm saying. I will get that security deposit.
Oh, yeah.
So for any of you who know anyone with kids, please teach them how to just get the security deposit back. Clean that stove. I don't know what's going on in that tub. I had nothing to do with that. I was like, that's on you, baby. I don't know what's going on in here, but that is not okay. And I didn't raise you this way. Maybe I did, but it's how it turned out. And but cannon fodder is waiting for dinner, so I got to run. Hey.
Okay. I have 7 questions.
Okay. My wedding anniversary is on Tuesday, by the way.
Yes, I guess it is. Yours is.
25 years I'll be married on Tuesday.
Oh,
wow. Congratulations.
Not tomorrow. I'm sorry, next Tuesday. What day is today?
That's a big one. That's the chicken broth. I don't know which one it is.
Chicken broth? Sure. Yeah, that's the chicken broth.
Or bird flu. I don't know. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I think it could be COVID. Could be razor sore throat. So now that I do have a question that's mildly serious. Did Declan have to? Did you have to apply him for the selective
service? Yeah. I mean, they sent out a card. Any male over 18. I mean, like you still have to send it, and then they make the determination if there is a draft. Yeah, we'll have to. Yeah.
Because they're going to take because they sent out an edict that because the Marines have been telling people, hey, come join, and we'll protect your family if you're Latino. And they are not doing that in any way.
Nope.
Another guy's wife just got pulled, just arrested. He's sitting at home with the baby that can't even breastfeed now. And they've always breastfed the baby. And they said, yeah, Marines, screw you. And then we'll take you and go to war. So that's, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Well, there's also a path to citizenship for a lot of young people. I met some Marines about 10 years ago who were training in San Diego, and that was like their goal from all parts of the world was their path, like from France, from Latin America, and that was their goal.
Yeah, but now they don't get to. That's not. Did you see the two? Did you see the 2 guys that went to an immigration appointment in their uniform with their mom so they could be next to her because they thought it was a ruse because that's what they do. She had an immigration appointment to do the next step, to getting after the green card to getting citizenship. And they've been, deporting people as a ruse. So they went with her and stood with her in uniform just to see what happened. And they didn't pull her though. So
No.
It's crazy.
No.
And I think Steve is going to, go Google scissoring during the next act.
Oh my God.
Yes.
By the way, I do want to say, I know that I'll be listening, and I know that you do the dance for money, but I just want to let folks know, like every little bit helps. And I'm so grateful for when people contribute. So it helps me do some of the things in my community. So thank you.
Yeah.
I forgot to say that during my set.
Yes. Oh, that's good. So that's fantastic. So I forgot my other 4 questions. I know you're sweating terribly and you need to go have dinner. So Steve, anything else?
If there's 4 questions to be asked, I have to wait till April and Passover. So
okay, that's good. Well, happy anniversary. And next
happy anniversary, Patty.
Do you want to go to New York with us? And they renew every year. They do this big thing. It's so
that's very cool.
Joyous. Carla, you guys should do it next year with us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our anniversary is next Monday.
Okay. Wow. So you got married a day before.
Hey,
Patty.
July 1st. Yeah.
How many
June
years?
30th. Yeah.
How many years?
It'll be 18.
Oh, okay.
Hey.
Yeah. Well, you're younger than us. So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, get rid of Patty because she needs to go to bed.
Bye, Patty.
Yay. Do you know?
Here.
Let's Carla, everybody. Yay. And you did your hair like Patty, like I asked.
I did a Patty hair.
Oh, that's so nice.
And then Patty didn't.
I love it.
Well, at least we have one Patty today, so that's very nice.
It's fine.
Hello, Carla.
It's too hot to wear a baseball hat.
Again, thank your husband for doing that for doing that dinner. That I couldn't believe it. That was so nice of you guys, and we had such a good time. And we think Joe is the best. Boy,
He is the best.
we know why you married that guy. Not just because he's like 6'5", but I like how we're walking down the street and I'm oblivious, and he will jump on whatever side he thinks safest for you guys. He'll protect the women on the streets. Let me tell you, there was a guy sitting on the ground, I don't know, smoking the dope, and boy, that Joe just jumped over there and just beat the hell out of the guy just for the hell of it, just for no reason, just to show the women that he was in charge. It was amazing. So okay, that's enough of that, Steve.
Thanks, Brad. That was delightful. All right. Carla, you know the drill. I'm going to play an intro, then you're going to play a song, then I got to answer it. I have no idea what you're going to do, and then you'll do another song. Here we go.
It's our musical guest, Gonna sing something funny and then Steve will play something in between. Our musical guest. It's time for our musical guest.
Carla Ulbrich.
That's me. All right. I haven't played this one anywhere yet, so here we go, except on my live stream last Friday. Baby weight. Okay, I gained a little baby weight. There's not a mother who could not relate to having baby weight. So don't start saying something, feel like I look like a pumpkin. Baby weight. Yes, I look different than I did on our first date. I can't fit in my jeans, and yeah, our kid's 13, and I've still got this baby weight. Oh yes, our kid's named Daniel. He's a Cocker Spaniel. But I've still got this baby weight.
Wow, that was brief.
It was brief.
That gave me no time to figure out what I'm going to do.
But you will. You always do.
Play something.
Something.
You don't mind if it's a little out of tune. Good. Long time ago, I can still remember how the mirror used to make me smile. And those nights we went out to dance, I'd put on my Travolta pants and even up my toenails with a file. But there'd be less space in the room with every cupcake I'd consume. Bad news on the dance floor, I couldn't take one step more. Can't remember if I cried when the lady that I fell on died.
Oh no.
I wrote this when I was, I think, 18.
Great.
She sure tasted good deep
Oh
fried.
God.
Oh, God.
Chips and slaw on the side. So bye, chocolate cream pie. I'm as heavy as my Chevy and I'm 4 times as wide. Can't get down a hall without greasing my sides. I hate weight watching, but I'll try it. This'll be the day that I diet. Okay, that's enough.
There's a lot of that song left, I'm guessing.
There's a lot of that song out there. I still did too much.
Steve, 2x4 can't fit through the bathroom door. Wow.
That's why you have to cut me in half with the scissors.
That's
Great.
18 when he wrote that.
Speaking of being cut in half, I try to keep track of what I've played here so I don't repeat myself too much. And I was
That makes one of you.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't see Steve doesn't have that problem.
I got over that a long time ago.
Yeah.
I was very surprised to find out I had not played this next song ever on this on this show, because this I consider, well, you know, I'm just saying I would like to play all my big hit. I don't have one. But this is the next best thing. This is the song that got me my first piece of hate mail. All right, hope you like it. I was just wondering, hypothetically, what would you do? Theoretically, if something should happen accidentally, or medically, what if your girlfriend was gone? If she died in a fire from a broken light fixture, or happened to swallow a poisonous mixture, would I find my way back into the picture if you were suddenly alone? Would you call me up? Would you write me a letter? Would you tie a message to your Irish setter? Try to get through so we could be together? What if your girlfriend was gone? You just stop right here, because I can see you're all wondering.
No, keep going.
You're all wondering, why isn't this song a huge hit?
Why isn't this song a huge hit?
I too am baffled by this, but I know you're also thinking, Carla, don't give up, because the key to success is, in this business, persistence. So just keep singing it and don't change a word of it.
Yeah.
That is so nice. Thank you. But you're too late. I've already rewritten the whole thing. I was sick. I had some kidney problems. I lost too much weight. I actually went on a diet. See, this ties together. I went on a diet for once, and I was a macrobiotic diet. No wheat, no dairy, no caffeine, no sugar, no chocolate.
No reason to live.
Exactly. No reason to live.
Sorry.
Your jokes.
That was very rude of me. I'm sorry.
You knew my jokes on the album. Okay, yeah. So anyway, this song happened. I was just wondering, hypothetically, what would you do? Theoretically, if something should happen accidentally, or medically, what if your butt was gone? If sitting in a wooden chair felt like tax and you found you had nothing to hold up your slacks because instead of a butt now you just had a crack, something would have to be done. Would you write Dear Abby for advice in a letter? Put a cushion in your chair to make it feel better? Try to fatten up with brie and cheddar? What if your butt was gone? If your butt disappeared without a trace and everyone looked all over the place, why do you have that look on your face? Hey, it could happen to you. If that booty, patootie, that sweet derriere were now inexplicably no longer there, how soon would you miss it? How much would you care? What do you think you would do? Would you call me up? Would you fall to pieces? Would you make it the topic of your doctoral thesis? Try to go out and find a prosthesis? What if your butt was gone? They make them, you know. I saw one at Spencer's. It's where I get all my medical devices. A butt, as you know, could be curvy or flat, dimpled or pimpled, skinny or fat, just like an opinion. Everyone's got one, but what if your butt was suddenly not one? If something should happen, hypothetically, what would you do? Theoretically, if something should happen accidentally or medically, what if your butt was gone? Would you call me up? Would you start confiding how you tried to make it grow with fluorescent lighting? How you had to give up horseback riding? What if your butt was gone? Would you realize there's a good selection? Shopping for clothes in the children's section. Go to your closet, make a commotion. Take all your pants and throw them in the ocean. This is supposed to be a sing-along, but don't. Does your butt hang low? Does it wobble to and fro? Can you tie it in a knot? Can you tie it in a bow? Can you sling it over your shoulder like a continental soldier? Or what if your butt was gone?
Always lending this show the class that it so desperately
and
needs.
Speaking of butts, there it is. So hey, so when you say your butt, which part of the butt is gone?
She's
curious.
The cushion.
The Maximus part.
Not the sphincter. That's the hole. You know.
No, not the part that the exit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I did. At first I was thinking
the
that
pillows, the part you sit on.
Well, but a lot of guys don't have that anyway. You get older and it goes away.
The junk and the trunk. Like you still have the junk, but you don't have the trunk.
Yeah, but a lot of men that just gone. You know, you just
that's what. Yeah. Some guys are born that way. Yeah, they. By
the way, I'm very pleased that both my mom and my dad and my sister are tuned in for this.
Yes, I know. I saw 3 here.
Why do they not have butts?
Well,
they need to learn more, apparently.
They've learned more about scissoring than they ever wanted to know. I will say that, hey, in my own defense, I was on a ship one time and I was wearing some pants and a woman in her late 70s in a scooter said, "Baby, you wearing them pants?"
That was no lady.
That was my wife, late 70s, in a scooter.
Fan base.
Baby, you wearing them pants? So I was wearing those pants. So
it's all about the fan base, about the fan base, about the fan.
Right.
All right.
I know.
Hey, Carla, where are you playing in the upcoming little while? We can check you out.
I'll be in Doylestown Friday and Saturday.
I found a place for us to play in Brooklyn if we ever want to do a show.
Oh, nice.
My
I'm
friend,
in.
Janet's ex-student's brother we had lunch with, he runs all the Brooklyn public theater spaces. He's in charge of all the theater spaces and their public access. So if you want to do a television show, let me know. Although we have to move to Brooklyn for that. But if we ever want a theater that we want to rent a black box, it's right there, and we could do a thing in Brooklyn.
I'm pretty sure only one of us has to move to Brooklyn, and Bob is willing.
Yeah. So
all right.
To get the theater, we don't have to live in Brooklyn, but
I know, but the
just
broadcast.
To do a public access television.
I get that.
Have to be, but he's in charge of all of it, so he's all for it. If we want to do it. So
fantastic.
I don't know
Thank you, Carl
I don't
Albrecht.
know how we're going to sell any tickets. We're going to just lose a ton of money. All right. Well, thank you, Carla.
We'll lose money together. It'll be fun.
We'll lose a ton of money together.
I've lost money with Brad, and it is fun.
Well, I don't have to
spend out all the money in the bank. Let's go to the
Bill
desert.
Gorgo.
Bill Gorgo, everybody.
Oh my God.
Hey,
where?
You look great.
Hello.
You look great.
Well, thank you very much.
You look 60.
Those were the days. I used to have a butt when I was 60.
When you were 60, you had a butt. Get up, show us. Let's see the desert. Okay.
Careful what you ask
Always
for.
hands or butts.
Yes.
Well, butts about it.
By the
Well,
way,
thank you
behind
for joining
Bill
us.
is Chicago. That's
Chicago this week. Yep.
Okay. All right, Steve.
Here's the deal, Bill. As you know, we're going to play a little intro for you. Then you're going to have 10 minutes of amazing stand-up. And then we'll tell you how awesome you are. Sound good?
Well, thank you very much.
Here we go.
It's time for our big headliner. Got some funny jokes to say. Oh, do a 10-minute set headliner. Man, I'm so glad that it's Monday. Yeah.
Bill Gorgo.
Hello. It's so nice to be back. And like Patty, I have to start with a shout out to the Chicago weather. This has been the most Chicago weather we've had in a while since we didn't have much snow this winter. So this was Chicago. First day of summer, 95 degrees. Let's just get right to it. Cut to the chase. Second day of summer, 99 degrees. Let's go for it. I mean, you had your 60-degree weather back in May. If that wasn't enough time for you to dig out your shorts and your T-shirts from storage, shame on you. You're gonna die. That's it. We don't cut you any slack. But the truth is, we deal with heat waves about as well as they handle snow in Miami. We're not good at it. even the poor weather people, they were confused and befuddled. Now, this kind of temperature usually doesn't happen till August, and then they'll go with the fry an egg on the sidewalk bit. But these days, who can afford to waste an egg? I mean, really, they haven't got that in their budget in June. So part of the problem was it wasn't just hot. It was hot and it was windy. We're not used to hot and the kind of hot, windy day where you go to wipe the sweat off your forehead and you realize that's not your sweat. It's from the guy in front of you.
Ah.
And meantime, the guy behind you is giving you the finger. It was like 20-mile-an-hour wind and 99-degree heat. There's no chart for that. I mean, wintertime, you got the wind chill table. They add them together or something. And summertime, usually they go with the temperature humidity index. But heat and wind, they don't know what to do. There's nothing. Fortunately, it's the same problem you have if you've ever tried to use a convection oven or an air fryer. It's the same principle. And what it means, I got the chart that came with my air fryer. If an hour outside in 98 degrees is going to kill you, you add a little wind and you'll be dead in only 40 minutes. That's 20 minutes a day. Of course, if you don't wear sunscreen, you're getting microwaved at the same time. So just give up. What I do now, if I'm going to go outside tomorrow, I carry some popcorn kernels at all times. So when my pockets start to explode, the picnic is over. It's a real simple device. I pass that on. A little tip to you guys. Personally, for myself, I don't mind when the temperature's in the 90s. I kind of like it because for me, it's an opportunity to see what women my age look like without their sweaters. That only happens a couple of days a year. Like yesterday, the widow lady next door, man, she was parading around in her backyard wearing nothing but sweatpants, a flannel shirt, a scarf, and a light jacket. It was wild. I'm telling you. I was glued to the window. I'm watching like there's no tomorrow. Anyway, rest of the year, see, with the older women, you got to play the sweater game. If you don't have sweater game, you're not getting anywhere. So let's say you meet a nice older lady. What you do, you try and sneak a peek, check her out. See? But if she catches you, what you got to do, you got to explain that you were admiring the embroidered cats on her sweater.
Yeah, right.
Now, maybe you didn't see if there were embroidered cats on her sweater, but you got about a good 85% chance that they were there. And even if you're off a little bit, she'll explain that they're really teddy bears or chihuahuas or whatever the hell. So now, the only thing is, if they're pictures of her grandkids, you're shit out of luck. That you've crossed the line at that point. Then so you compliment, and then you smile because you got away with a little something, and she smiles because she's kind of flattered that you think what you were really looking for is still at that location, and it's a win-win really for people our age. Of course, not this week. This week has been like lockdown revisited. The only difference is instead of sheltering in place, I've been sweltering in place. Fortunately, I still have my mad survival skills that I developed during the pandemic. And namely, it's two things, really. Number one, do nothing as much as possible and as long as possible. And number two, if you have to do something, do it extremely slowly. Those are the only skills you need to make it through a heat wave like this. I've been working on that first skill for a long time. When I turned 60, I asked my doctor if there was anything I could do to not feel so old. And he told me right out, absolutely nothing. I did absolutely nothing for the rest of that week. And the guy deserves a Nobel Prize. Now I sit at my desk every single day and do nothing for 4, 5, 6 hours. And honestly, it feels like I'm right back in high school. It's that energy. Sometimes I'll smoke up, take a notebook, and not write anything for a couple of hours, and it's college all over again. It's great. Don't get me wrong. The second skill is important too. Take your time. like getting out of bed. I used to be able to go from sound asleep to at my job 22 minutes. That's it. Now, getting out of bed can take upwards of 2 hours. Check my emails, take a nap. Play Wordle, take a nap. I'm sure some of you know the drill.
Yeah.
Getting dressed, another hour. Why? Because first I have to hit the lubrication station. Answer me this. When did salves ointments take over my life? You know, there's the athlete's foot cream, the toenail fungus gel. I got to use industrial strength moisturizers on my shins because they've decided to start returning unto dust way ahead of schedule. Some icy hot on my knees, a little Bengay on the hips. I don't want to go into a lot of detail, but next comes a preparation that presumably is better than its predecessors A through G. But I'm looking to live long enough to see if they can actually get it to work by the time they roll out version LMNOP. Now, the horizon, I have to slather on sunscreen in case Amazon shows up and I have to go out on the front porch and brave the blast furnace for 18 seconds. Little aftershave balm, some beard oil, a dab of Plexiderm, some retinol, Vaseline over here, some Gold Bond over there, eye drops, ear drops, nose drops, gumdrops if you got some, why not? I'm done. I'm ready to play the greased pig at the family picnic. Catch Uncle Bill, win a pie. But my clothes just slide right on. It's like a little miracle. You ladies have been holding out on us. Oh, I'm sorry, I dozed off again. And anyway, there I am, all dressed up. It's COVID deja vu for the last 3 days, all dressed up, nowhere to go. So what do? Head down to the couch to watch reruns of the reruns that I watched the last time I was stuck on the couch watching reruns. I think the worst part about being in prison in America has to be watching daytime TV. I think it makes getting shivved look like a walk in the park with egg sandwiches. I've got 150 or so channels to pick from, but at 2 p.m, Storage Wars becomes must-see TV. Here, have you watched daytime TV? My friend Tim Walker says it'll make you go out and get a job. If you think Fox News shouldn't be called news, you should get a load of the History Channel. Holy crap! Is there anything those ancient aliens do? Unbelievable. Daytime program. It's all aimed directly at geezers because we're the only ones with nothing else to do in the afternoon. We're glued to the TV until, supper at 4. So, and even it's not even the shows. You can tell by the commercials: insurance, prescription drugs, and geezer crap. That's it. That's all they advertise. And it's the same commercials over and over and over. Why? Because they know we can't remember shit. So they hypnotize us into buying their crap. Last week, I was this close to getting a reverse mortgage so I could buy a walk-in tub. Fortunately, my landlord got wind of all this and he shut the whole thing down. About 8 laws. Anyway, we're all worried about inflation, obsessing, like I said, about the price of eggs. But through it all, for at least 10 years, one thing has remained frighteningly constant. We can still get life insurance for only $9.95. It's amazing. How do they do it? Simple. I called up. When you die, your survivors get $5.75. It's a pretty good deal for them. I'll tell you what dawned on me the other day, watching the TV. I used to smoke pot, drop acid, and dance to the music of Woodstock. Now the only time I see people doing drugs and dancing is when they've lowered their A1C. What has happened? Here's something you can do in the privacy of your own home. Watch those commercials with the sound off and closed captioning on. what you wind up with is happy people dancing like crazy while the side effects they're suffering are scrolling across the screen. It's bizarre. We have diarrhea and the risk of heart disease. Anyway, I pay attention to the side effects because apparently there's no cure for them.
Yeah.
If there was a cure for the side effects, wouldn't they just put it right in the pill? Then no side effects. Even the drugstore doesn't help. You go to pick up your prescription, they give you a book to read about this drug. There's nothing in there what to do about the side effects, and they could help you. It's so they could just, this drug may cause diarrhea. We recommend cheese. It's in aisle 2. You can see it from here. My favorite part, though, is when they tell you to ask your doctor about their product. Are they out of their mind? Ask your doctor. Have these people been in a doctor's office in the last 30 years? I barely have time to ask my doctor about the thing that brought me to see the doctor. Now they want me to have a chat with them about some drug. There's a waiting room with people coughing and bleeding, and I want to chat with him about a drug I can't pronounce, I don't need, that I heard about halfway through a Murder, She Wrote rerun. What are they thinking? I want to shoot people who pay for their groceries with a check, and they want me to chat with a doctor. I don't think well, Lord, how I miss good old-fashioned coffee commercials. Where did they disappear to? I haven't seen a good coffee commercial in 20 years. Is it just because we're not supposed to drink coffee? I don't. These are the things that keep me up at night. Thanks for having me back, you guys. A wonderful
coffee. Yeah.
Bill Gorgo.
That keeps you up, but not coffee. If you got coffee, you could stay up at night. But so fantastic. Oh my God. And good luck seeing a doctor. When's the last time when's the last time a doctor showed up? It's the PA assistant NLPRNDW shows up. So you can't find a doctor at this point.
And how come every time I go, they ask me what killed my grandfather? Don't you know by now?
Yeah,
he's dead. How about me?
Well, I've been going to the same place for 15 years, and they still don't know who I am or anything. Aren't you writing stuff down from the last time I was here? Hey, could you fill all this out again?
And I'm the geezer here. I'm the one who can't remember who I am. I count on you to remember who I am.
Yeah. Well, as I said, Bill, you weren't here. What I said is my doctor is not a doctor, but she is 29, blonde, weighs 105 pounds. She has Crohn's disease, and she also has celiac, and she's pregnant. So she was 3 times sicker than I am when I show up. So it's hard.
You know what? You're wise, because I bet you through all that, she's got small hands. After a guy turns 40, that's the principal thing you're looking for in a doctor.
Although they're not calling for that anymore. They're not doing digital rectal exams anymore. So, yeah.
Say what?
Yeah. I know.
What the hell are they using?
Steve.
What
are they using back there?
When's the last time you had
your finger, doctor?
When's the last time you had a digital rectal exam?
Me?
No.
What time is it?
Do self-exams count, or is
no,
that
self-exams do not count. They don't do it anymore. They don't do it anymore. And I told her right off the bat, I said, hey, by the way, I'm glad you're going to be my doctor, and I will tell you right now, I will never take my clothes off in front of you. I will not do. You can check over.
I cannot speak for the medical community, but if I was a 29-year-old blonde with all of those issues, I wouldn't give you that kind of exam either. I don't know that they're not doing them. I think this may be specific to you.
Not just her. Because if you get a PSA or a colonoscopy, it's 10 times better because the digital rectal thing that for the prostate only gives you this little part of it, not the whole thing. It could be on the bottom or the side. It doesn't, just one little section. And
he's right, you know.
It only feels good for a minute. Okay, so that's enough of that. Thanks,
Bill.
Thank you. And no scissoring at the doctor.
Yeah, no scissoring. I've asked for it so much and never get it. The nurse. All right, Bill, are you working? Are you doing anything? Are you just hanging out?
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
Here and there.
So we'll see you at the store.
Anybody asks. That's
all right.
That's been
Anybody
my
get a
rule.
hold of Bill if you want some of that. I think you should do. Have you noticed Andy Huggins is really blown up? I think you could do the same. And remember Andy Huggins? Yeah,
I get all of his clips and it irritates me.
Yeah, I know. You could do. I tell you, you could do the same. You need to get a hold of. You need to go hold of the guy in Sarasota and do that comedy show, that open bar comedy.
That guy in Sarasota. I'll give him a call.
McCurdy, Les McCurdy.
Oh yeah, Les McCurdy.
Get a hold of Ted Holland and ask him about Les McCurdy, and he'll get you in.
All right.
Let's see if you can get a colonoscopy while you're there.
Okay, got it.
Bye, Bill.
All right. Bye, Bill. Okay.
Time for this thing.
How about another dumb song from Steve for no reason?
Have we heard it before?
I don't think so. I'm not 100% sure, but this is from my new album, and I don't think I've ever done this one here. Let's find out. But it fits right in with our whole geezer theme here. And I hope we have some fans of the band REM.
Yeah.
Chuck, are you here? Is Chuck with us? I thought she signed in earlier, but maybe not.
I'm here.
Hi, Chuck. Get ready to show the cover of this album. I can't find a copy of it around here, so when I'm done with this song...
Okay, I'll go get it.
Thanks, you rock. Well, you don't have to leave. Anyway, it doesn't matter. When your years are short and your days are long, because you're old, and the doctors don't know what's wrong, because it's everything. Your kidneys and your arteries and your spleen have had enough, and all night you're getting up to pee all damn night. That prostate won't let you go. Number one, even after 30 tries. And everything in your body hurts all the time. When everything is going wrong, it's time to sing along with this stupid song. When you ate too much before getting on the bus, you feel like letting go. When picking up some adult diapers at Target yesterday would have been a good idea. Well, I guess it depends. Everything in your body hurts. You're grossing out all your friends, cause everything in your body hurts. Now there's tendonitis in your hands. Oh no, can't open the stupid bottle of pills with your hands, so you smash them open with your foot. And half of them go under the refrigerator where the cat finds them, so he's feeling great and crapping all over the floor right next to the litter box. You stupid cat. Now Tylenol's all you've got, and it's not even real Tylenol. It's this generic Tylenol equivalent. But it doesn't really matter if it's the real stuff or the fake stuff, because you might as well be eating M&Ms. Because everything in your body hurts. You've built up a tolerance for this over-the-counter garbage. And I'm scrolling down, hang on a second. And everything in your body hurts all the damn time. Everything in my body hurts because I slept on it wrong, or I stood up too fast, or I had a gram of gluten last Wednesday, or I watched golf on TV for too long, or I listened to Dr. Oz and bought some supplements that made me go cross-eyed, or I sat on my keys, or I had a piece of cheese an hour before bed, or 2 hours before bed, or 6 hours before bed, or a week before bed. If I had a piece of cheese at any point in my life, everything in my body hurts all the time.
Yay! I didn't join.
Amen.
Yay! You know, I do it. This show really has a theme today.
It really does.
And I'll tell you this. I do a new bit about, hey, it's Chuck, everybody.
Hey, Chuck.
That's from my new album that Chuck did the artwork for. And you
How
should
do they
definitely
get
go
that?
to stevegoodie.com and pick up a copy.
stevegoodie.com to pick
That's
up that
right.
album right there that Chuck's got in her hand. And part of that money does not go to Chuck. That's the best part.
Doc, that still has its wrapper on it. How have you listened to it?
He likes to-
Spotify.
She has a good 50 copies of that.
I sent her the vinyl. I sent her the wax cylinder.
Oh man, vinyl would be a great idea.
Wouldn't that be a great idea? Yeah,
It
boy,
would
that
be a
won't
great
cost $1 billion.
idea.
I'd like a Halloween vinyl, but I don't think
It's
I
such
want to spend
amazing
the money.
artwork too.
That's some amazing artwork. Hey, guess what? It's time for another thing.
Oh wait, don't I want to say? So I've been doing a bit about everything you talked about. I say when you're 40, you can hurt your back by pointing. That's always fun. When you're 50, I pulled a groin muscle in my sleep. That was fantastic. Right? And by 60, it's wake up every morning with the roulette of what hurts. That's you don't know what it's going to be. And then by 70, you just might as well die. Okay, do it. Let's do it.
Time to beg for money.
Beg for money.
Brad begs for money. Hey, we need your money. We don't charge a cover or a 2-drink minimum. So what did you expect, Jack?
let's admit it. Go to virtualcomedyshow.com and donate to the show because everyone this week is old and we need the money to buy Ben Gay and ointments. And Tylenol.
Medicare is going away.
Everything.
Home health care.
Home health care. We got to do it. And we're all going to need Elena to come and give us showers.
I've already put down a deposit on a shower from Elena in the year 2038.
We're on the shower from Elena. And by the way, she's in Chicago, Bill. If you need a shower, Elena's right there to give them. That's what she does for a living. And also go to virtualcomedyshow.com and donate to the show because, as we know, Patty uses that money to help people.
That's true.
Not me. I just get a latte. That's what I get. But Patty takes her money and actually donates it every week. Can you believe that? So give us that. And we, of course, I don't know if anybody remembers this, but split it all up even. We don't take, Steve does not, well, Steve takes an extra 50%, but nobody takes it. We split it up 4 ways, whatever.
I get extra because Bob needs a share.
That's right. Bob needs a share, but Bob owes us, big.
Yes, he does.
But yeah, we've never taken extra money. It's not like Steve and I are skimming off the top. So the comics get the money, as does Patty and anybody who's on this show, and then we take a cut too. So go to virtualcomedyshow.com, donate to the show. We'll be happy. And Kevin is wearing a Bob shirt right now.
Yes, also designed by our friend
Chuck. One of those at stevegoodie.com probably.
Actually, I got to do that. That's a good idea.
Yeah. How does he have a shirt if you don't have shirts?
Well, he was at a live show. That's where you get a shirt.
Oh, yeah. Well, just go to stevegoodie.com and contact Steve, and
I'll come to your house with shirts.
He'll come to your house and do a show. Steve will come to your house, do a show, and bring shirts. And then Chuck will take the wrapping off that CD. Okay, let's finish up.
All right, I think it's time for the worst joke, which is going to be a tough call this week.
Worst joke, worst joke, worst joke, worst joke. Boo! That was the worst joke ever.
You know, I spent a lot of time deciding whether to have this be the worst joke or the scissoring joke. Worst joke. I guess you're all going to say, wrong choice. Here you go. Parade Magazine has come out with the 105 things to say to your partner to reignite that spark. Mentioning this because my wife and I just renewed our vows. But Parade Magazine, the 105 things to say to your partner to reignite that spark. Not on the list. Can I get a piece of that thing?
Good night, everybody.
Hey, that was the virtual comedy show. We learned a lot of stuff we didn't need to know, like into the toilet a minute ago. That's what you get when you watch this show. It's gonna be a long 4 years. We have a lot of fun at the virtual comedy show. It's better than sitting home playing with your toes or going to the dump to watch them decompose. Keep coming back to the virtual comedy show. We appreciate your support of the virtual comedy show. With a budget of nada, nothing zero. We're a little less fancy than HBO. Still, every Monday